If you've ever spent any time in a camper, an RV, or really any kind of motorhome, you absolutely know the dilemma. It's this constant battle, this trade-off between having a comfortable place to sleep and having enough space to actually live. It's a problem that kind of defines the whole experience, doesn't it?
I mean, seriously, who hasn't? You're out there on the open road, trying to soak it all in, but inside your rig, it feels like you're playing a constant game of Tetris. You want that big, comfy, full-size bed for a great night's sleep, but come daytime, that very same bed becomes this giant obstacle right in the middle of everything.
And that, right there, is the heart of the problem. Your choice is usually one of two things. You either have some clunky manual conversion system, where you're folding and pulling and literally wrestling with cushions every single morning and every single night, or you just give up and settle for a cramped living space or a less than ideal bed. It's a compromise that can honestly take a lot of the joy out of the journey.
So in this explainer, we're going to dig into this exact problem and a really fascinating solution. We'll start by framing the dilemma, then introduce a bed that transforms, look at the features that make it tick, see how it maximizes your space, and wrap up by looking at it as a long-term investment.
Right, so let's start with what we all know too well, that daily struggle. In a mobile home, every single square inch counts. And the bed? Well, it's the biggest space hog of them all. Just sitting there completely unused for, like 2/3 of the day?
But what if you didn't have to make that choice? What if your bed could just get out of the way when you don't need it? That one little question, well, it could change everything.
And it turns out the answer is surprisingly elegant. The source material we looked at points to something called the TYTXRV Motorized Lift Bed as a total game changer. See, the key isn't to fold the bed or hide it in a wall, it's to elevate it, literally. Okay, so how does it actually work? And why is it better? We're about to dive into the key features that make this system way more than just a neat party trick. It's a seriously engineered solution built for the real world of mobile living.
The biggest deal is that it's motorized. We're talking pure push-button convenience. No more fighting with a heavy mattress, no more fumbling with complicated latches. The bed just smoothly glides up to the ceiling and poof, your entire floor is wide open. It just completely erases a daily chore from your list.
And this isn't some one-size-fits-all gadget you just bolt in. The source makes a big point that each system is totally customizable. So whether you're in a tiny little van or a massive Class A motorhome, it's tailored to fit your vehicle's exact dimensions. And that's really the difference between a clunky DIY hack and a truly professional integrated solution. The whole frame is made from high-grade aluminum, and that's a super important detail. I mean, in any vehicle, weight is always a concern, right? Aluminum gives you this amazing strength-to-weight ratio, so it's incredibly strong and durable without adding a bunch of unnecessary pounds. Plus, it's corrosion-resistant, which is, pretty essential for a life on the road.
When you put all this together, it leads to a whole new way of living in your space. We're not just talking about a bed that moves up and down anymore. This is a tool that lets you create multifunctional zones. It transforms one single-purpose area into a dynamic space that changes with you throughout the day. Let's just walk through a day. At night, you lower the bed and you've got a real, comfortable bedroom. In the morning, you hit a button, the bed goes up. And just like that, for the rest of the day, that exact same spot is now your living room or your dining room, your office. Heck, it could even be your yoga studio. You get all of your floor space back instantly.
Thinking about the big picture here, something like this isn't just another piece of gear. It's a fundamental upgrade to your vehicle and, really, to your entire travel lifestyle. It completely changes how you interact with and live in your space.
Let's break down that long-term value. First, you get elevated comfort, a real bed. Then, you get incredible versatility in how you use your space. The source even suggests it can increase your vehicle's resale value. But you know what's most important? You spend way less time setting up and breaking down, which means more time for the actual adventure. That's the whole point, right? Ultimately, the source sums it all up with this really powerful idea. It's about turning your camper from just a vehicle you happen to sleep in into a true haven, a mobile home that finally feels as spacious and comfortable as you've always wanted it to be.
So the final thought to leave you with is this. For years, camper design has been obsessed with the floor plan, the horizontal. But maybe the real untapped potential, the secret sauce, has been vertical all along. It leads us with a pretty simple question. Are you really making the most of all your space?